Welcome to the third Lean Body Mind video. I was tempted to call this the first podcast, but it's still not going to feel exactly like a podcast if you've been watching the Not So Serious Keto video podcast, because there is going to be some different sorts of footage in this. So I guess we'll just call this the first Lean Body Mind podcasty thing. I'm going to have to come up with a good title for the podcast. And I've got some notes here that I will be referring to from time to time. So first off, I am filming indoors today. I know I had talked about doing more filming outdoors, and I will, but I had already set up everything to do my Not So Serious Keto video podcast. So I figured all the equipment's in place, I got my lights in place, I've got my little chunk of the man cave here arranged so that I can record. So I figured we'd do it inside. Now I will show you some footage. In fact, I'm probably gonna do it in just a couple seconds of one of the locations that I scouted out to do some recording at. So I had mentioned in my second video for Lean Body Mind that there's a park not that far away from my house. It's a new park. Used to be a bunch of swampland, and they put in a bunch of drainage. They got the swamp mostly taken care of, although it did rain the other day and it was pretty swampy, but not on the walking path. Anyhow, there's a lot of open area there, and at 6 in the morning, I have the place to myself. So it would be pretty easy for me to even set up my regular camera rather than using an iPhone and have a windscreen on the mic. There may be some of that. Anyhow, let me just show you a little footage of me at the park. I'm out for my morning try that again. I'm out for my morning sprint session and then walk, and this is the field that I was talking about that I could walk fairly deeply into and maybe use as a background for some of my videos. Just kind of taking a look at, so there's the park, but just taking a look at some of the angles, see what kind of wind noise I pick up, see what kind of traffic noise I pick up. I'm not wearing a lavalier mic right now, so I don't know if it's going through the AirPods or if it's going through the mic on the phone itself. But this is my area, I hope, or one such area where I might be shooting some outdoor videos. I'd asked last week about shooting video with a selfie stick, and for the most part, the responses were pretty positive. Some people got a little bit motion sick because I was moving a little too quickly. One of the things that I've started to look into, and I want to make sure that I do my due diligence, that I do enough homework, so that if I'm spending some big bucks, I'm spending it on the right thing. But I would like to get a really nice, well, maybe not really nice, I might not be able to afford really nice, but a Steadicam gimbal so that I can walk around and keep the camera steady, not give anybody any motion sickness, that sort of thing. But this involves watching an awful lot of YouTube equipment review videos, and you never really know if these people are being incentivized by the company or not, so trying to discern if there's any sort of bias in any of these reviews, plus reading reviews out on Amazon. And I'm the sort of person that something can be 4.8 stars out of 5, and I go straight for the 1-star reviews. I don't know, there's something in my character about risk aversion, I think, that I want to go and I want to see what those people are saying, and are their complaints legit, or does it look like they've got an axe to grind, or what? Long story short, I think that the outdoor videos are only going to get better as time goes on. Now, on the subject of outdoor videos, one of the things that I'm knocking around doing is sort of whether it's a day in the life of Steve, or what does Steve's morning routine look like. And that's going to involve some shooting outdoors. And I took a little bit of test footage, which I'll show you here in a moment. And let me know what you think. If you think this would be a good thing, to actually see the routine that I go through on a daily basis that keeps me more or less on track. Now, you'll notice in this footage that I'm about to show you, I hadn't shaved for 2 days. I'm looking pretty rugged. It's not even 6 in the morning. And I just, I bounce out of bed, brush my teeth, and the routine begins. So watch this footage, and this is just, it's raw footage, nothing stylistic about it. And let me know if something like this would be interesting to you, to get a better glimpse inside what my day is like, what my routines are like, things that I do that I feel make me happy and healthy and productive. So one of the things, I should stare at the camera here. So one of the things that I'm considering doing for my videos is sort of I don't know whether I'd call it a day in the life of Steve or Steve's morning routine, but if I do, it starts this way. It's usually about 6 a.m., give or take 15 minutes, and I get out and I do some sprints. The sprints that I do come from, what's the book called? I think The Wild Diet was the name of it. The sprints were a series of, well, first you start with 1 minute of warm-ups, and I would do active warm-ups, just leg swings, 15 each side, and then that leaves me about 8 seconds to make it down to my sidewalk and get my brain into sprint mode. From there, it's sprints. It's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And I do 10 intervals of that, and then there's a cool down, which is jogging for about, 1 more minute. And then, actually, by the time I hit about sprint number 6, that kind of looks like jogging anyway. But that's how things start. And then I walk for about an hour listening to an audiobook. So I don't have anyone to video me sprinting, which is probably good at this point. At some point in the future, maybe if I can coax one of my children up early, they can take a video of me doing the sprints, and you can see that if you took a picture, it looks like I'm sprinting. But if you do video, it looks like I'm sprinting in slow motion, like I'm trying to do my Steve Austin $6 Million Man run, like in slow motion. But yeah, that's how things start. Roll out of bed, brush my teeth, take a few supplements, and let's see. Oh, if it's a release day for a video, I set my release time for 7 a.m. and today is going to be the 90-second tortilla. Well, that's it. Time to start sprints. Maybe I'll be back when I'm on my walk. So, a little sweatier today just because it's crazy humid out. We had thunderstorms last night. Right now I'm at the walking path around my new favorite park, and one where I think I'll be shooting some video. The great thing is, I got this whole place to myself at 6 in the morning. There's a half-mile walking or running path, which for me means walking path. And I'm just gonna walk some loops, see all the wildlife. It's kind of crazy, all the different birds that I see, and there's some ducks I've seen this morning already. Saw a bunny. Periodically I'll see deer, even though this neighborhood is like 25, 30 years old. There's still some deer around here. I'm starting to think maybe I should get some sort of an app. I bet there is one. An app for bird watching to help you identify the birds that you see, and maybe a checklist. Maybe it's regionally based. If anybody's aware of something like that and can find one before me, let me know, especially if you've tried it out. But for now, I'll just keep walking the path, and I'll check back in later. What I'd really like to do is be in a situation where I'm not filming myself. If I could get a family member to get up early in the morning and come out with me and film me, and use the Steadicam so I can be talking to that rather than worrying about holding a selfie stick or a gimbal on my own, I think that would be pretty cool. And Courtney will be home in 2 weeks. My hope is that after this extended period in the Army, she's used to getting up early in the morning. I don't know. I thought that would be the case with Connor as well, and it didn't take long for him to really start sleeping in again. So Courtney says she's excited to start doing some videos with me again. I don't know if she just means like product review videos or if she wants to get more involved into the aspects of lean body mind, but that's a possibility. We may have some of that coming up, and I think that would be good if she could be, for example, on her bike riding beside me as I'm doing sprints. Create a little Rocky montage sort of video. In terms of other videos, let me tell you what I'm working on and sort of an anticipated order of what's going to be coming up over the upcoming weeks. And I'll be giving these sort of previews probably every week until I get on a regular cadence. I'm letting you see what's going on behind the scenes. So some things I already have footage on, but need to edit and continue to work and probably redo intros on, because originally I'd planned on doing these on Serious Keto, but they're not really in that keto swim lane. So one of them is the Stealth Core Board. So it's that yellow balance board that you put your elbows on while you're doing a plank, and you put your phone on this little receptacle here. And they've got a number of different video games that you can play. That's something I've already got some footage on. Earthing. A lot of people have been asking about earthing. So it has been now right around 6 months that I've been doing earthing. And I got a lot of footage from that. I got to tighten it up. Or maybe I shouldn't tighten it up. Maybe I should keep it nice and long. That way I can increase overall view time as people watch it. And then follow it up with the edited, more concise version. Along those lines, I also want to talk about some more sleep tools. I had done a review of the Oura Ring out on Serious Keto. That video probably, I may recut portions of videos that I've done out on Serious Keto, give them a new intro, a new outro, delete any sort of keto references, and bring them over here as well on Lean Body Mind. The Oura Ring would be one of them because I've tested out a couple of other sleep tools, including the Withings Sleep Map, and I think it's called the Sleep 2 On. It's another ring. It's kind of a strange looking device, but I'll give my impressions of those in an upcoming video. I'd mentioned that I would be doing a couple of intro videos on some of the continuous improvement tools. So very high level, get you sort of grounded in the terminology sort of videos, both for Six Sigma and for Lean. I've been looking at some software, and I've settled in on some software called OBS. I just need to learn how to use it. I'm watching some YouTube tutorials. And this is a software that many people use to stream. When they're showing something on their screen, and then down in the corner there's a little picture of them talking. I'm going to figure out how to use that fairly soon, and then I will create videos using the PowerPoint presentations from my consulting company to give a high-level overview of some of these methodologies. So expect that within the next month. I think, though, that the next long-form video that I do, the sort of video that I'm doing just to ramp up the view time, is going to be sort of a history of Steve. So outside of the My Transformation thing, what got me into continuous improvement? I may have mentioned this last week. I probably did. The problem with doing these videos is very often when I wake up in the middle of the night, I start running through my brain the script. These aren't scripted, but in my brain, what I want to say. And I want to touch on some of the elements, some of the first times I realized that I just love improving things, love making things better. And my suspicion is that a lot of you are going to connect with that. You're going to say, oh, wow, I was like that too. And to me, one of the biggest things about continuous improvement is just tapping back into that childlike enthusiasm for understanding how things work and seeing if you can make them work better. And that's going to be a big theme of that video, but also where I experienced in the corporate world how some of this stuff was misused, and how I understand how some people have a very skeptical approach to some of these tools because very often companies will misuse them. And that makes me sad. So the goal will be, at least for a little while, that there are more of these longer form videos so that we can rack up those view hours. In terms of the discussion we had last week, and in the comments on last week's video, does watching multiple times increase my view hours? I'm still not sure because YouTube's measurements really kind of lag. I've taken the total views as indicated on the creator's dashboard and the length of my videos and multiplied them, and it does equal the total watch time that's also displayed on the dashboard. Now, I don't know if it counts unique views or all views. I know that it measures unique views, but yeah, I guess I don't know yet, and it's going to take some time for me to figure it out. I would think that, especially once you're monetized, YouTube shouldn't care, because every time you watch, you're potentially getting exposed to a commercial. So I would think it doesn't matter, but I don't know. I don't want to be like I'm gaming the system here, but I'm going to do my part and just keep making long videos, and once I've got a few, I'll put them all into a playlist, and then if you want to use it as something to help you fall asleep, you can give it a listen. As I bring this podcasty thing to a close, the last topic I'd like to cover is the community that we're forming here. When I started Serious Keto, it really truly felt like a community. There was a consistent group of people that were always commenting, and it felt a lot like family. But as the channel has grown, there has been an element By element, I mean a type of person that has started to subscribe or view or comment that feels not so much like family. I'm not sure how I would describe it, but certainly less warm, less friendly. And for a while here on Lean Body Mind, I expect that it's just going to be a really, really pleasant place. I love going through the comments on Lean Body Mind. Serious Keto, it's kind of a crapshoot. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get in terms of mean-spiritedness. You don't know what you're going to get in terms of trolls. It's really sort of a mixed bag lately on the Serious Keto comments. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm so glad that all of you came here, and you came here of your own free will. You came here because you enjoy my content enough, or my personality, or my voice. I hope I'm not making assumptions here, but I will anyway, because it makes me feel good. You came here, I think, because you like me. And I like you. I'm glad you're here. And I'm really going to enjoy this time that we have as we're building the channel up. And my hope is that if we start getting some of the undesirable element showing up in the comments, that we can, as a community, sort of police that and help them behave a little bit better. But that's going to be it for this third video from Lean Body Mind. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be interested in hearing your feedback on some of the topics that I brought up. See you soon. And thanks for watching.